why I always have the mute button ready to go.
Right, right. I am resident of Collinwood for YouTube, Jules Sades, joined by, by Vicki Ray, Tom Diamond. We're here to review the time tunnel um, entitled Invasion. This is about the invasion of Normandy, D-Day. But first, one of the guys is going to get brainwashed by a bunch of Nazis. So I do
Well, I guess
feel,
that was their version of Dr. Mengele, huh?
yeah, I do feel again. This is one of those episodes I feel they were setting up for something like for the next episode. Like I sort of wish they would have. This would have been a two-parter or something because I felt there was a lot. There was enough material
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, there was a lot of material to go
I think that
through.
would have been good. But the episode, as far as I was concerned, was very good. It was very tight. The only thing I
It
would have
was.
liked to, and it's the first time that you see Doug and Tony face off against each other because they drug Doug to think he's
Well, they brainwashed him and they drug him, yeah.
good old Heinrich Kruger. And but Vicky, you pointed out, you and I were talking, and you pointed out some good stuff in terms of the pictures of
I just
Doug
thought
and
that was
Tony.
funny. They just happened to have a 6-foot blow up of Tony just available for Doug to shoot. Just stuff like that.
Which is
They
cool.
because they didn't have stuff like that back then. I mean, to have a picture like that, just because it took forever back then to develop film and stuff. So that
Although
was I just thought it was funny. But you're not supposed to think about those things when you're watching this stuff. But I'm just such an anal retentive. So
I do recall a scene after we were talking. I do recall a scene where the good Dr. Mengele took a picture of Doug
oh,
with the
he did.
camera.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, and so from that, but you still don't understand. He didn't take a picture of Doug. I mean, Tony. He didn't take a picture of Tony.
Right.
So how is it that Tony's picture was there,
Well,
and
they had a
how is
picture
it
of
that
Doug in a Nazi uniform, though,
that's right?
before Doug was a Nazi.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
And
saying.
how is that done? And the only
A
thing I
little
could think of,
continuity. I'm a real.
yeah.
I really about continuity. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should start drinking again. It didn't bother me near as much when I was drinking.
well, the only thing I could think of was is that they may have had a couple of extra scenes and they edited it out.
I bet you
Uh,
they did.
yeah, yeah, which would have explained.
Well, let's. What?
Which
Well, I mean, where's it? Where is it? Well, they joined the Allied troops. They're about to. I mean, I was what was historically. I'm trying to understand. Baby, Tom. I'm trying to when they were doing the code. Like they always said certain stuff to the French
right?
resistance on the radio, the BBC. What were they talking? I mean, was there a specific way those codes went? I mean,
Code
they're not like
words.
Navajo code talkers, but I'm just saying,
They had
was it like
yeah,
a cipher?
they had specific code words which were communicated to them, I believe, in advance. And at this point, they knew something was up, and they were just waiting for. They didn't know when it was. They didn't know when D-Day was going to happen, so they were waiting for the personal message thing. And if you recall, the first time they got on the BBC, it was said there were no personal messages tonight.
Right, right.
So they knew that there was, that they could wait. And the next day, we have the following personal messages, and I think it was the second sentence that tipped them off. And Tony had remembered that it was and how Tony could remember this unless he was a history buff. I have no idea because he's a physicist, and he's talking about, oh, there was a line, and it may have been the second sentence, and I don't remember what it was. Well, the fact that he knew that there was a second sentence
Was
was
that
great.
Robert Duvall?
No.
They
Robert
keep saying
Duvall's in another
in the
episode.
research, they keep saying it's Robert Duvall that plays the German commandant. And then I went back and I looked again, and they say, yes, that Robert Duvall, years before The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and his Oscar win.
Not
And that was
in
really making me
not in
mad.
this time. Not in this particular episode.
That's what I thought, but that was in the research. I was just wondering if
Oh,
you
that
came
was
across
bad.
that. 'Cause I don't remember seeing Robert Duvall.
That was a
No.
bad mistake. Robert Duvall is in another episode later on of the time
Oh,
tunnel.
maybe the research got it
And
wrong. Okay.
the research definitely got it
Because
wrong.
I
And
was like
that's
confused. I'm sitting here scratching. It's like I
and
don't see him anywhere.
that particular episode, which we'll talk about when we get to it, was I think it was called "Escape Through Time." Was, in my view, one of the best episodes at the time that the Time Tunnel had, other than the first episode and the one where Tony finds his father. But no, Robert Duvall was
Well,
definitely
that's what I was saying. I'm
not in
trying to
this
figure. I went
episode.
back and watched it again. I still didn't see him, so I was wondering
That's
where they got
crazy.
that.
That's crazy that
I
they
thought
thought that
maybe
was.
that I was, I don't remember seeing any Robert Duvall
That's
interrogate
crazy.
God.
By the way, everybody, you may see something different about me tonight. I do not need glasses anymore because I had cataract surgery. So from
I
now on, you'll
always
be able to see
that.
my handsome face. And this is what I look like without my glasses. Although Vicky, when she first saw me, thought I was sleeping. And that's probably where I'm
No,
going
I
to.
said because when I texted you, I said, "Did I wake you up?" Because I texted you, "We're here. We're waiting for you." Oh,
But after this episode, I might just take her advice. But that'll be a little later on. But this episode is worth talking about. Unlike the last episode, which we talked about last week, which was in my opinion, this episode, the only thing I would have liked to have seen would have been a prolonged fight between excuse me, between Doug and Tony. I would I would have liked to see them go at each other. And yeah, it's true they had Tony shoot Doug and graze his scalp, but I would have really, and I agree with Jewel that that would have set something up for part two if he had shot Doug and the wound was bad, and that would have been, I think, an interesting. That would have been an interesting setup. Time Tunnel did not have any two-part episodes. I
no,
think though if it has
they
lasted,
might have if they'd ever continued. They probably would have
Yeah.
ultimately got to a two-parter.
I think if it had lasted into the second season, they definitely would have had a two-parter. And
Well, this is the first time though we see Tony doesn't recognize Doug as his friend, and I would have loved
Yeah.
to see a little more
I mean,
interface with that.
Doug doesn't recognize Tony as his friend.
No, he's turned
To-
it to like they turn. I mean, I knew they
I
used to
think they
brainwash
clued up.
people, but were they that good? They could do it in 2 hours.
Very. They could have. I think they could have worked on it. I think that, and of course, you wonder how Doug is all of a sudden able to get that German accent.
Yeah,
The way
he had the, I will, make sure I
he
hear
must
him
have this
actually.
German accent, and I will kill them all. And
Yeah.
he seek Heil the captain better than the captain seek Heil him.
Did the
Uh,
Germans have Jewish names? Me and my husband were
yes,
watching it today.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. In fact, it was theorized. I believe it was theorized that there was some Jewish background in Hitler
Well,
going
there was
way
a lot
back.
of German Jews. Yeah, they thought
Mm.
well, he used to like Jewish people. He had a lot of close Jewish friends before. So this was, before he turned into the Hitler we know.
I think the family name of the Three Stooges used to make fun of it. They used to call him
Laurel and
Schickelgruber.
Hardy, they all used to.
Yeah, Schickelgruber, and
Yeah.
that was and that was and that was the code word, I think. But there were a lot of. I mean, if you want to look at it this way, I mean, it's a crazy thing. He wants the Aryan race to be blonde hair and blue eyes, and he's neither. Hitler is
Not
dark,
everybody had blue eyes and blonde hair, though, in the
and Hitler
German army.
didn't. Hitler certainly didn't. So why
No,
all of us?
he
So
was
why
pretty mediocre and plain.
exactly?
No Viking about him, you
So
know.
why all of a sudden does he want him to? Does he do that? But what did you think, Jewel? What did you think of this episode?
I think you have a lot of cool shootouts. You have really interesting betrayals too, because I like the aspect that they got into the mind control stuff. Again, I just wish they would have either had a part two of this, because again, there was a lot of material here that they could have
Yeah,
Right.
continued. Um, I did like the fact that that was Tony almost gets shot by Doug, I think, or something.
I think he grazed him, didn't
Tony
he?
shoots Doug
Yeah,
in the scalp.
And
It's
in typical
he
classic
grazes
TV
him.
fashion, the brainwashing doesn't last. But you got that
no,
confrontation where Tony appeals to his loyalty and deep memories of their
yeah,
friendship. And
yeah.
Doug starts kind of trying to resist the programming, but he just needed that. I think it's funny they went and got that doctor like he was family after he did all this stuff. Like, no harm, no foul without one ass beating.
And he's so willing to like cooperate.
I know. It's like, come on. Well, he said he was a scientist, not a Nazi, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Right.
was half expecting Brad Pitt to jump out of somewhere and start scalping people, you know.
Yeah, this was a really well written episode and well thought
It really
out.
was.
Bob and Walter Duncan, one of their successes.
So,
They did Lost in Space a lot, as I recall, and they clicked with this one because there was enough of a historical reference. It was interesting to hear the general talk about the fact that he had been in Cherbourg, and this must have been one of the smaller towns, and they finally found it. It would have been interesting, I think, as a two-parter, if they had brought one of them back. Maybe if they had brought the doctor back into the time tunnel, that would have been an interesting possibility, because usually they wind up bringing the villain back. But at this time, they brought the doctor back into the time tunnel. It would have been interesting to try to explain something like that. But the bottom line was that the antidote, and and again, you kind of wonder if this is if this is a brainwashing technique, why is there an antidote around for it?
Well,
Uh,
so they had like,
to
well, got
brainwash
so
the person, you're going to
Neanderthal or
you're not
whatever.
going to want to bring them back to where they were. So why is there an antidote around? And but luckily there was, and the doctor had to talk Doug back into recovering his identity. Tony wasn't able to do anything, no matter how he tried, about reminding Doug who he really was, because Doug was convinced, as Heide Kluge, that Tony killed his father, and it was last year or whatever, and he killed his father. He shot him in the back, and that reference was kind of explored when the two faced each other off. But I thought the episode. I don't know where they shot it, but it had some. It reminded me of Hogan's Heroes somewhat, in that they
That
had
the
tower.
tower reminded me of Hogan's Heroes. I was asking my husband, I goes, that from Hogan's Heroes? It looked exactly like it, but it wasn't.
It
He used a
wasn't.
lot. I mean, that looked like they just put that together. but it looked like they used some 1960s war series like Combat or similar TV production.
Uh-huh.
They did use actual footage from Normandy when they were storming. That was
Cool.
obviously, actual footage of Normandy.
But
They
was
used
Combat in
explosions during the
color?
resistance sabotage scenes. They used miniature models and they used stock pyrotechnic footage from previous
Interesting.
lots of his shows. But it was just standard Allen area World War II stock that they used. Some of the helmets were kind of slightly off a little bit. The Gestapo stuff wasn't as completely Gestapo, but it is what it is. They were the bad. I think Doug looked kind of cool as a Gestapo agent.
Oh, I think Doug was
I'm so
great.
used to
I
seeing him with
think
that
Robert
rainbow
Comer
suit
did a
on
great
all the
job.
time. Any color's good color at this point,
He did a
Even
great job.
Yeah.
But was Combat in color? Because you mentioned that they used some footage from that show. I thought
was
that
that,
was
Seth?
only in black and white, or did they go to color at one point? I don't know. Did because I know Combat was in black and white.
I don't know if I think Combat went to color, didn't it?
Maybe they went to color. I know they started in black and white, and maybe they went to color because a lot of
My
shows were
brothers
going.
loved watching Sergeant Saunders. We had to watch Combat. My brothers were locked in back
Oh
then.
no, your brothers like Combat? That's
Yeah, my
interesting.
cousins did. I was the only girl on the street, stuck with all
Oh
that
well.
shit.
Oh well, but still in all. So, but you got your
But they
share of
had
war
Doug's
stories.
brainwashing chair and the electrodes were classic 1960s sci-fi props. Mostly a padded chair, head straps. God only knows where they got that from.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That sounds interesting.
But they just,
I gotta
what is
tell
it?
you, I gotta tell
I
you,
just don't
typical.
remember. They keep
I'm
saying
sorry. Go
Robert
ahead.
Duvall. Go
What
ahead.
were you saying? What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I forgot what
The-
I was saying now. I am not on top of my game today. I can tell you that. But I liked how when they were actually doing the invasion, they just happened to disappear at that point anyway, though. So they weren't gonna go hide probably for that. But that must have been something to behold though when they came in like gangbusters, the Battle of Normandy, Omaha Beach, all that. I was just sitting there thinking when I watched that footage all the time that those guys were like 18 years old. Some of them lied about their age,
Uh-huh.
Now you got all these crybabies now. I have to say it. They used to lie about their age just to, go fight for their country. That was just such a merciless slaughter that, they knew they were. That just needs to be respected for all time. Sadly.
There's stuff on Amazon Prime, and it was Tom Hanks did Tom Hanks, and I think Ron Howard may have been involved, but I know it was Tom Hanks. Did a couple of mini series based on D-Day's
Omaha Beach.
brothers.
Oh,
Of
Band
something.
of Brothers. You're thinking of?
Yeah, what is it called?
Oh, that's a series. Band of Brothers. I love Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Awesome,
That's right. That's right.
awesome series.
That's
If you're
right.
into that sort of thing, I loved it.
Oh,
I
I
cry.
really loved it. Yeah.
Well, it makes me think of my father when I see the paratroopers. So I get all teared up now when I see it. Yeah.
Well, it was extremely graphic. If you think of the time tunnel,
Band of Brothers, they don't spare you. That series does not spare you in any
it was
capacity.
extremely great. You had people, you had them walking off with the legs cut off and everything. You don't see anything like that in the time tunnel episode. But
somebody posted a picture a couple weeks ago. I reposted it. So they were walking through the French forest, and you could still see where the foxholes were all these years later. They were still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, either not, they were filled in, but you could see, that there was foxholes in this whole part of the forest. It's kind of sobering. Because that must have been horrible, to be in a war like that. War is just God.
It's worse than horrible. If you could, if you can think of it, and I think that the Tom Hanks thing really caught called cinema verite. They caught the truth of this was war as hell. Well, that certainly proved that war is hell. I mean, in terms of the time tunnel episode, they were more concerned with getting them out of there before D-Day started. But there
Well, they
was
weren't going to take him back while he was brainwashed. That would have been a nice little twist
that
if
would have
they
been
brought him
fun.
back when he
That would
was
have been
brainwashed as
fun.
a Nazi.
Oh, wouldn't that have been great? Wouldn't that have
Yeah.
been
It would
great?
have
They
been
brought
an interesting side thing to think
what a
about that.
great
Well,
idea.
we can't fix Doug just quite yet. What do we do with him?
I know, and he grabs Anne and he starts to drag her around by her hair through the time tunnel complex, and General and Jiggs and all the rest have to go after him, and then he takes Ray, then he takes Ray Swain, and that would have been that would have been a lot of fun. Yes, I
Well, Doug
agree with you,
has no
Jewel. There's a
lingering
lot of
effects,
things they could
though.
have
I
done
mean, he
with that.
just
What's
snaps
Yeah.
right
that?
back.
What's that?
Doug doesn't have any lingering effects. He just snaps right back.
No, he snaps right back, and Tony,
Yeah.
it's you. You know.
Doug's the man. Everything happens to, well, I guess everything happens to both of them. But Tony is always the emotional one, still yet again. He's like looking at Doug
Exactly.
like, what the fuck,
Well,
dude?
Doug got a little emotional here too in this episode, which as Heinrich Kruger, he has a different personality, and he got very emotional in this episode. As far as he was concerned, um, Tony was the one who killed his father, and
Yeah.
by shooting him in the back, and and Doug made the remark, it's easy to shoot somebody in the face, but not in the back like you did to my father. And Doug
Yeah.
was pretty emotional in
He was
this.
pretty stone cold there for a while, wasn't he? I
Yeah.
mean, he had the look down, just
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Exactly, exactly. I'd give this episode. I know
Oh,
that
I'd give this one a 9. I
I
would.
I give it a 9.5. Yes, you got the explanation of how they come up with a 6 foot paper
The
mache
6 foot
cutout of him.
Tony, I thought that was funny, the cutout, you
Yeah, how
know.
they come up with that, and maybe that's what kept it from being a 10. But otherwise,
We're not
much.
supposed to think of that stuff back then, though. We've just got the older critic brains, as you get older, and we've been doing this for so long, that's
Mhm.
just like, well, it's kind of fun to pick out stuff because I mean, even new stuff now you pick out, it's like, oh, they goofed up, so
Yep,
you do see certain things and even new stuff. So
yep, sounds good. How about you,
people are
Jewel?
only
What
human.
what would you give it?
I give this episode a 10. I think they had a lot of
Mhm.
great material. The sets were good. The real footage, was really great.
Yeah, they had those
super good.
panoramic shots of German troops marching through villages. I mean, they did use some. I mean, they really actually kind of used their stock footage really appropriately this time. They got rid. They did really well with their stock footage in this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, there was the usual. I still thought that thing was from Hogan's Heroes, that guard tower. It's just like it was driving me nuts. I was waiting for Steve Crane to walk onto the set.
That's funny. That's
Mm.
funny. Um, it's well acted, certainly, um, and they good choreo. Other than Tony and Doug, they wanted to minimize them going after each other, but other than that, good choreography in the fight scenes, and
Right.
realistic, in terms of how they set up the gun charges and everything, and the machine guns. So very realistic, and kind of you have to watch out you didn't keep the kids up at night because that was a kind of violent show as compared to some of the other.
Well, they had people actually shooting people, and you had Nazis, and they're scary as it is. No one likes
Yeah.
Nazis. You know, it's sort of like, you ever watch that movie? I know Jewel probably. Have you ever seen Dead Snow
No.
with zombie Nazis? You got to watch Dead Snow. There's
Zombie
nothing worse than
Nazis.
zombies that are Nazis. I swear, there's nothing worse than Nazi zombies. It just like they cover the whole thing.
I don't
But
remember
it's
that
actually
one.
pretty good. It's called Dead Snow. There's 2 of them. But I mean, talk about scary Nazis. I mean, Nazis in any setting are scary. They were so evil. I mean, just evil.
Oh yeah, because I mean it's been used as the epitome of evil for many years.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So this certainly was a success. They had the sneak preview of next week's episode, which has to do with Robin Hood, the Magna Carta.
Oh, you know they're
Yeah.
gonna beat the shit out of the Errol Flynn stock footage on that one.
That's right. That's
Wow.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. The Sherwood Forest and everything, and we'll talk about that. But and the other thing is that they may have used invasion. The title was invasion, but they may have used that in a couple of the future episodes when they were talking about the alien invasions.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. That one's like what, like 4 or 5 episodes down.
That's
You only
right.
got like 15 left, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 30 episodes in
Only.
all.
Well,
And-
hey, Dark Shadows, how many thousands?
That's for sure. Anybody have anything else to say about this one? It's
Jewel
a
had
winner.
something.
Not this one, but the next Robin Hood Prince of Thieves was a really good video game. Good
Was
movie.
it?
Yes.
How old is it? How old
Oh,
is
it's
it?
very
Like
old.
90s? Are you talking about the
I think
Kevin
I
Costner
remember
movie?
It was the game for the movie for the
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner movie, and Friar Tuck was a pain in the ass to get past. Let me tell you, because you
Was it
had
Well,
to
like
let me
the
tell you
Oregon
something.
Trail?
In the next episode, Friar Tuck's a pain in the ass too. There's a little bit
Friar Tuck was a
comedic
drunk, though.
comedic
Friar
thing.
Tuck
He
was
hits
always
you with
drinking.
his stomach, and the guy goes flying across the room. So
you
I
had
think
to
in the next episode.
you had to stick fight with him, and it's like you had to beat him. You had
Really?
to. Yes, in the game you had to win. Pain in the ass.
Was that
Was this-
well? That's when Xboxes were just coming out. Was that like an Xbox One, or was that a
this
primitive?
was
No,
primitive
PC, I
something or other?
think. It was
this was.
PC.
I think this was either on Nintendo or Sega. Don't quote me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Super Nintendo probably for sure.
it was PC because it was
I
a
remember
Robin
the
Hood
first-
game. There was a Robin Hood game on PC, but what I don't like about those games, there are games where it's like really close up. You're right behind the hero, and when you have fights with the
Right.
villains, you see what they're using right away. You know, right away. And then there are other games that give you more of a bird's eye view. You're looking like from an airplane, and they're so
Right.
small. And I don't like those kinds of. I don't like those personally. I don't like those kinds of games because you.
I
really
remember the
can't-
first PlayStation I ever bought my children. I was like that big, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, it was itty bitty. And I mean, that was like the best thing. I remember the kids going, I can't believe Santa brought us one like that. He goes, we weren't that good. It was such a big deal. But,
That's
you know,
hilarious. That's hilarious. It
Um,
really is. So this was one of the successful ones, no doubt. Any other comments? Anybody?
Nope. Nope.
All
no,
right.
I think we got covered. It was pretty good.
So we're on for the for next Sunday at 8. then?
Sunday, I promise. Sunday. Link to the Literary License podcast will be in the description box. You can get Vicki Ray and Tom on Facebook. Go hit them with a friend request. I'm gonna go pre-order Alien Incursion, which is a new Alien video game. But
I just finished watching Alien Romulus and Covenant. Finally got around to it.
Covenant was okay. The Romulus, the ending, I didn't care
I
for.
liked a lot better.
I didn't care for
I
the
liked
ending.
Romulus a lot better.
Watch Alien Earth. Watch Alien Earth. It's okay.
I started it. I'm episode 3.
Me too.
Does it get better? Because I'm not engaged yet. Does it get better?
That's just it. I'm not either. Like the
Oh,
second
okay. Okay. It's not just me. I'm not. That's not me. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
just
I'm
can't
not.
seem to.
They need to turn up the volume on the
Okay. Thank you.
episode.
Because I thought it was
They
just
do.
me.
No,
Okay,
they need to start turning up the danger element.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing hardly any kills. I want aliens. I mean,
yeah.
aliens. It's aliens, right?
That's right. That's right. You want it like in the first movie where the aliens murdering everybody.
Yeah, I want everybody. I want a gore fest of them popping out of everybody's chest. Yes.
But no eyes. You don't like eyes. You don't like the eyes.
There's no eyeballs in Alien.
No eyeballs.
No eyeballs in Alien. Just like
I
Halloween.
remember
Like that.
it was very popular when it first came out with Sigourney Weaver, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The second one, I love the second one. I absolutely love the second one.
You know who her father was? Her father was Charlie Weaver, who was a comedian, and he was on Hollywood Squares a lot. And you always saw him.
That's right. That's right. The Hollywood Squares. I forgot all about the Hollywood Squares.
That was a great show. I mean, Paul Lynde.
I used to love
Paul Lynde was the hit of the show. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, he had the best lines.
He did his Uncle Arthur Bewitched. He will always be Uncle Arthur to me.
Hi, Sammy. Yeah, no, he was good. He was well. He'll always be Harry McAfee from Bye Bye Birdie to me, because he was the. Of course, I had Anne Margaret, my first crush, when I was in 3rd grade.
I think everybody's first crush. I know most gay men tell me that it was their first crush. Everybody likes
really?
He loved her. You know, he loved Anne Margaret.
That's funny. Yes, I was just thinking that Keith used to, Keith used to
call
talk
her
about
sex on a stick. That's what he said about Anne Margaret all the time.
Yep, may rest in peace. Keith used to talk about her. That's great. So, so we're all on for hopefully for Sunday.
Sunday. You guys enjoy the rest of your week and take care.
We'll try.
Bye,
guys.
Y'all be safe.
Take care, Vicki. Talk to you.